Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Bulldog Weekly. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Olivia. In this episode, we will watch some highlights from last week's hockey game, discuss some interesting novels, watch some Odyssey characters come to life, and end it all off with Evan Tilley's Who Am I project.
But before we get into any of that, here's our principal, Mr. Devoll, with our week ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday, January 7th. That was quite a storm we had the last couple days, with a snow day mixed in. Day 7 on Monday, January 8th, so we pushed our schedule back. We have a booster club meeting, 6:30 p.m. in the high school library, and our spring musical, their rehearsals begin. They took the last week off, so spring musical rehearsals begin in the evening. Tuesday, January 9th, day 8th in our schedule. We have a healthy Tri-Town meeting at 9 o'clock in our central office. Girls basketball at home at 6:30 p.m. against Apponequet. Wednesday, January 10th, day 1 in our schedule. We have a math league meet after school at Old Rochester, go Mathletes. And we have a boys ice hockey game versus Bourne at Gallo Rink at 8 p.m. Now we have two kind of different days coming up. Thursday, January 11th is a day 2, but it's a 2-hour delay. Enjoy those while they last, students. Later on Thursday, we have a boys and girls swim meet versus Durfee at 4 p.m. Our swimmers compete at New Bedford High School. Friday, January 12th, there's no school. Again, enjoy that, students. It's a 4-day weekend. 2-hour delay on Thursday, no school on Friday, and on Monday, no school as well. So life is good, especially after snow days. But on Friday, January 12th, there's a boys basketball game at 6:30, home against Fairhaven. And on Saturday, January 13th, girls basketball returns home, 4 o'clock against Nauset. Tip-off at 4, go Bulldogs. And that's the rundown. Stay safe, shovel out, got it.
Thank you, Mr. Devoll, for that helpful update. And now, on to sports.
The boys hockey game versus Bourne happened last Wednesday on December 27th. We have a short compilation of the game in this week's Sports Highlights. Go Bulldogs.
So, Kylie, did you read any good books this vacation?
No, I haven't. I would have if I could find some interesting books to read.
Well, lucky for you, Bulldog Weekly has a new segment called Book Talk. Here's the first edition. Hey, I'm Olivia, and welcome to Book Reviews. The first book we'll be reviewing today is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. In this book, the world is just like our own, except a plague disperses across the United States. It kills children between the age of 8 and 14. But the problem isn't the children it kills. The problem is the children that don't die. See, these kids turn out to have these sort of abilities. It's one of the most interesting books I've ever read. It started me on my journey of reading, like books like this. I've been searching out books now of kids with powers, kids that can do things because I've read this book. Obviously, we've all read, Hunger Games and Harry Potter, but this book was like, there's other things other than just those dystopian worlds. You can have fantasy and real life in the same book. Thanks for joining us with Book Talk with Olivia. Hi, I'm Olivia, and welcome back to Book Talk. Today's book is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. This book was intense. It starts in a world past ours, where I guess a war of sorts has gone on, and it was between those who wanted abortions and those who didn't. Big conflict with today's society. And so they had a big war about it, and they came up with, okay, you can have an abortion of your child when they get to the age of 12. So you can basically kill your kid when they turn 12. It's the most psychologically disturbing book I have ever read, and I really applaud the author because you can't get into this mind space without thinking about it for too long. You really have to dive into something full-heartedly to get to this level of disturbance. And I know that might be a little mean, but I love this book because it made me angry. It made me so angry with what's going on in the book, and it related so much to what's going on now, and it aggravates anyone because it doesn't help anyone's side, or at least now. In the book, they find it's completely okay to sacrifice your children off at the age of 12. It's fine. But our main characters are Connor, Riza, and Lev. They are all different ages and all come from different backgrounds, but they're all going to be unwound. The main characters' names are Connor, Riza, and Lev. And I understand that there's usually only one main character, but the book actually switches back and forth between their point of views during the chapters. So you really get a mindset of who you're talking to and who you're dealing with when you're in that specific character. All the characters really meet each other in one fraction of like it could have barely happened only once. They're all running from the police at once except for Lev, but that's a long story. And it's a chance encounter that could only happen once, and it does, and they free themselves, and it's an intense book. Though disturbing, this book is amazing, and I can't wait to read the next 3. That's all for Book Talk. I'm Olivia. Hi, I'm Olivia, and welcome back to Book Talk. The book we'll be reviewing today is Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. This book is a magical world. There are 3 different types of vampires, and each have their own different attributes. The Moroi, the Dampierre, and the Strigoi. Moroi and Dampierre are alive, Strigoi are dead. Our 2 main characters, Rose and Lissa, are both vampires. Rose is a Dampierre, and Lissa is a Moroi. The Moroi's numbers are dwindling, so the Dampierre must protect them. Lissa has the ability to bring people back from the dead, and one night, her family got in a car accident, and her family died, but Rose didn't. I love this book because it brings friendship to another level. Rose can see into Lissa's brain whenever she wants. She can always check up on her in case she's in trouble. It brings a new, definition to protection. And I think it's really refreshing because most of the vampire books you see nowadays are like, the girl falls for the vampire, but werewolf. Cough, cough, Twilight. But it's not like that. The most important relationship in this book is between Rose and Lissa because they're like sisters. It's really different, and it's kind of a spoof because it's really funny. That's all for today's episode. I'll see you next week.
We will have more book reviews in later episodes. Now, let's discuss another well-known book, The Odyssey.
Miss Wickman's English class met up with us to shoot a mock talk show with everyone dressed as a character from the Odyssey. Here's a clip from the final video.
This is Athena, who vouched for Odysseus throughout the journey, and this is Poseidon, who they have a little bit of
is simply misunderstood.
They have some issues, he and Odysseus. So, how does it make you feel that your very own niece just disobeyed you and went against you like that?
And also turned my girlfriend into a snake monster. Yeah, it really bites.
Well, all right. And Athena, how do you feel?
I think that it is unfair that you would just judge him and not give him a second chance.
He blinded my son.
You can get over that.
My son can't get over me.
Well, you can.
All right. So I guess what Athena's trying to say is, you aren't blind, so you should see this to have a different view on the world.
I don't think she's that deep.
Okay. All right, so that's okay. So a question from the audience.
I have a question. Poseidon, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being slightly, 10 being very much, how much do you hate/dislike Odysseus?
Elmer Fudd to Bugs Bunny. There you go.
All right. And another question.
And I have another question. Athena, what was a time during Odysseus' journey that may have been difficult for you?
Well, I think it was when my own family would just turn against my journey and just not help. Just be rude and just not destroy my hard work.
All right. Don't let him get to you. He has a pool noodle. It's okay.
I only destroyed 2 ships.
Only 2.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys can have a nice family bonding session in a little bit. But for now, you guys can feel free to just go. Go where life takes you on this beautiful course. It's fabulous having you all here today, both of you. So.
If you'd like to see the entire talk show video, check it out on the ORCTV Vimeo page.
And now, on to senior Who Am I projects. Most seniors put a lot of hard work into the Who Am I videos, and it would be a shame to go unnoticed. I present to you Evan Tilley's Who Am I project.
Who are we? Not as individuals, but as a society, as a whole. How do we help? And how do we harm? What is our place in the universe? Many have tried to answer this question, but few have succeeded. This is because one has to look at their life from an outside point of view to answer this question. Their daily life is a box that they're trapped inside, that confines them, that restricts them from getting any true answers, because they're so focused on work or school. And to really find out who society is, and what we represent, what we stand for, what our goal is, and where we belong, one has to look at themselves from an outside point of view, and they can only do that in a place that causes them to think differently. And I'm going to do just that.
He's out of here!
Whatgod.com. Now I got a word for your tongue. How many Rolling Stones you want? Yeah, I got a brand new spirit speaking and it's done. Woke up on the side of the bed like I won. Talk like a wind in my chest to that sun. G5 in the US to Taiwan. Now who can say that? I wanna play back. Mama knew I was a needle in a haystack. A Bugatti boy, plus Maybach. I got a feeling it's a rap. ASAP.
It's time to start my journey throughout the desert. Where it will take me, I do not know, but we will find out. I've begun my journey. It's interesting that there's mud out here. It means that it must have rained at one point. But now, because it's so hot out here and dry, the mud was at most more rock than mud. I found my first signs of wildlife and ants. It appears to be a fire ant. Hopefully I don't get bit by it. Oh look, its partner. Teamwork is essential when living in the desert. Other creatures have been here before me. Look how beautiful those dunes are. I'm gonna head over there. Such a vast wasteland. Time to explore. Wow. I'm amazed at the contrast between empty places like this and human-built cities like Vegas. I'm starting to truly gain an appreciation for my life, but I think I need to wander more to realize my thoughts. The desert can be a cruel place. As my journey comes to its end, my thoughts start to wander. The only question left is, where do I go from here? through the desert and seeing its many horrors and its beauty, I have begun to come to conclusions about who society is and where we belong in the universe. I have seen the discrepancy between huge cities like Las Vegas, with its bustling nightclubs, its casinos, its millions of people, and desolate wastelands like Death Valley, with its salt flats, its scorching hot sand, its dunes. And I think that many people would try to use this discrepancy to argue that humans are inherently weak, that a place like Las Vegas could be reduced to a place like Death Valley in a matter of minutes by Mother Nature. And while this is true, I think that this is an overly pessimistic lens to view life through. We should also emphasize our achievements as humans, as a society. I think Pico della Mirandola, a Renaissance scholar, described us best through his hierarchy. He claimed that God was at the top of the hierarchy, followed by spiritual beings and material beings at the bottom. He said that humans were the crucial link, the chain, between the spiritual beings and the material beings. He claimed that we were the middle. And I think that in a sense, this is very true today. We are the middle. We're not overly powerful, we're not Mother Nature, and we shouldn't overstep our boundaries. But then again, we're not weak. We built huge cities, Las Vegas, New York, London, up from the ground, and we provided millions with homes, with food. And I think that this middle position in life is just where we belong. We are in a balance between two forces, and that's where we should stay. And we've faced many challenges, but we've also overcome many of these same challenges. And at the end of the day, there's always hope. Hope has been with us for many years, and it will continue to be with us for many more. Thank you.
Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars.
If you're a senior and would like to have your Who Am I project aired on an episode of Bulldog Weekly, please fill out the survey sent out by Mr. Devoll.
Be sure to check out our Vimeo channel for everything we film here at ORC TV. We shoot sports games, concerts, musical artists, and so much more.
Well, I guess that will do it for this episode. Until next time, I'm Kylie.
And I'm Olivia.
And this is Bulldog Weekly.